Happy holidays and Merry Christmas. You're watching Drakewing Gaming. Oh, one moment. And enjoy the video. Hey guys and gals, Nary here from Drakewing Gaming, and some of you may on Twitter the Gaming Drag. Today I'm coming back at you another Let's Play episode of Minotaur Hotel. So y'all, let's go ahead and jump right back into it, shall we? Alarm chain, you were up, and let's go! Alright. This room is the closest place to the outside world, if we can say that. It operates by different rules. Millennia ago, it was a shrine to the god Hermes, patron of trade and messengers. There are other such locations in this realm dedicated to specific gods. The masters for a long time used it as a dock, to send and receive goods from the outside world. Then it became a post room when the hotel was established. If you can offer adequate instructions, it will find a way to transport goods back and forth. It could receive radio signals from the outside after we instructed it on how they work. If you can describe how the internet works, then it can be done. That will connect the realm to whatever the internet is. Then, if it's anything like radio, it can retransmit signals to your equipments. And how can we teach it to do that? What is the procedure? A contract. Yes, everything in this realm works by means of contracts, mainly those signed by the master. Your will, save a few exceptions, is sovereign. In a single contract, we can describe how the internet works, and then command the hotel through the basin to connect to it. Hey, that's kind of like programming a computer. Pardon? It's like how computers work. That's what I mean. They follow your instructions, nothing more. If you give a computer bad instructions, they won't work. You need to be very precise, tell it step by step, in its own language, what it needs to do. Yes, I suppose your comparison is adequate. That indeed is how the hotel works. Which reminds me, I have yet to offer you the instruction on how to summon objects, don't I? Yes, I've been here for a few days already, and yep, I'd really like it if you could help with that. I'm frightfully sorry for my negligence, my lord. Had it not been for the exceptional circumstances under which we met, I would have taught you on your very first day as master. Don't worry about that. Now tell me, how does it work? Very well. For starters, the Labyrinth can generate most materials and substances found in nature. That includes animal and plant products. It can generate living beings as well, but for a number of reasons that function was disabled. It's a long story. We can discuss it another time. The Labyrinth can generate complex structures and manufactured objects, if you can instruct it on how said thing can be built with raw materials. For clothing, we have quite the archive of instructions. You can trust the hotel to manufacture even complex garments without issue. It cannot, however, fabricate currency. Neither will it produce metals like gold or silver in large quantities, and a few other substances which were used in commerce back when the realm was created. And if a large mass of goods produced by the Labyrinth are exported to the outside world, it may become rebellious and refuse to obey orders for a while. The gods put these restrictions in place to stop mortals from using the Labyrinth for profit. I see, but that's not an effective restriction, is it? I can imagine a number of ways that could be sidestepped if I wanted to profit. We can't make gold and silver, sure, but what about precious gems? Those are valuable enough that we can export a small amount for a high profit. Ah, yes, good catch. That is what we used to do, in fact. There you go. Alright. We had a contract on the outside who would receive our gems, sell them without leaving a trace, and send over the currency. That way we could pay our employees. And we were not at all stingy, I might add. Interesting, so this whole system is, shall we say, abusable? Yes, my lord. There is no doubt about that. After all, is that not what enabled us to build this establishment? The gods sentenced me to eternal damnation. We found a way to make something good out of it. And we accomplished it by, shall we say, being quite creative and light-footed with interpreting the base rules they established. This is no different from how we managed to bring radio to the hotel. I doubt Hermes ever imagined the uses we could come up with for his shrine. It is fortunate that the gods were, shall we say, quite sloppy with how they worded the rules for this realm. And there is one more thing. The Labyrinth can muster materials, but as I said, it needs the instructions on how to put them together. For things such as books, it can copy books which already exist here, but cannot summon a book it does not know. With that said, may I teach my lord how the summoning is done? Yes, I'm ready. Let's do it. It is a simple affair. Now, perhaps you shall find it silly, but believe me, for this task you need only hum. This song in particular. The Minotaur begins humming a slow and drawn-out melody. Asterion's humming at times quivers, lingers, stretches itself. The song itself is simple, easy to learn, and quite unlike what you've heard from modern musicians. Although he does not sing any lyrics, it would seem he is thinking of them and humming in unison. After repeating the song 2 more times, he stops. We need to call out to the Labyrinth. Inform it we are making a demand. We required an unequivocal gesture. Over the centuries, the masters have employed a number of actions for this, such as snapping their fingers or tapping their feet. But my lord can imagine how problematic it was when they would unwittingly give commands to the hotel. So for a few centuries now, we have adopted the song as the gesture. Master need only hum it. With time, you will even be able to do it without anyone noticing. If I am around, I can hum it for you as well. That works just the same. I hummed it in your stead when you tried summoning clothes for me. And now, state what it is you desire. You repeat the song Asterion just hummed, and you think of something simple you can summon to test the Labyrinth's abilities. Perhaps a small gift for the Minotaur. Choose an item to create for Asterion. Maybe a neckerchief? You think back to the modern clothes you made for Asterion to wear. Crafting cloth, it seems, is a simple task for the Labyrinth. But unlike that time where Asterion apparently commanded the Labyrinth to perform your instructions in your stead, you do it yourself. There you go. You close your eyes, picture in your head a simple piece of cloth, and hum the melody. You feel the familiar shifting of the lights in the room, but this time the tiled floor vibrates under your feet as well. The dark rocks around you crackle, like charcoal clacking together as it's poured on a bonfire. Then you jolt as the sensation of the rocks shattering and pouring over you. When you open your eyes, the wall is intact and unchanged. Perhaps because you're so deep in the heart of the Labyrinth, within its lowest layer. Regardless, you look down. The Labyrinth has produced a small square of red cotton cloth with a white swirling pattern along the edges. The Minotaur approaches you and looks out at it as well. Now that's a pattern I haven't seen in a while. You grab 2 opposite tips of the cloth, fold it diagonally, and take advantage of Asterion's proximity. You wrap the 2 tips around his neck and tie them at the back. The Minotaur winces but doesn't move away and just lets it happen. When you remove your hands and look over your handiwork, he's blushing. Thank you, Master. Does it suit me? Yes, it looks great. Alright, enough messing around. How about we get started on the internet thing? Where do we even start? Start with the banging. Oh, baby. Asterion excuses himself to go back into the tangled hallways and returns a few minutes later with a folder full of schematics. He lays them over the 2 tables. Asterion lets you skim through uninterrupted. You cannot make sense of them. It's a jumbled mess of geometric drawings and calculations. For the next hour, you and Asterion try to crack the puzzle. He explains to you how a team decades ago made these schematics to translate a radio's functioning into the hotel's bedrock, and you in turn try to explain to the best of your abilities how the internet works. It becomes apparent that, no matter your previous expertise, there is so much about the nitty-gritty of the internet's workings that you cannot describe from memory. This will take quite a bit of research, and if it's just you and Asterion, it would take days or weeks to accomplish it. Your concentration is broken when you hear the shudder of rock moving against itself just behind you. You turn around, but nothing has changed. It's still the same dark, humid room. Is something the matter? I could have sworn I heard something move behind me. I'm afraid I heard nothing, my lord. Perhaps you were just getting tired. That may be the case. Would you mind if we took a little break? Yes, about that. Would Master be willing to hear out an impertinent suggestion from this servant? Before you have a chance to respond, he lets out a giggle. I'm just pulling your leg. I assume you were about to tell me to not call myself a servant in that manner. I can be witty too, my almighty lord. Now, getting to the point. You see, it is somewhat late in the morning, and new guests might arrive soon. If the both of us stay here to work on this task, then who will greet them in the lobby? There we go. The process of drafting the contract requires a great deal of specific knowledge, so I should stay here to do it. Could we perhaps recruit Luke to assist me while you man the reception? That sounds reasonable. I'm not sure he knows a lot about the internet, but he might be able to give you a hand to a certain extent. You can now assign guests to the research and development team. Watch team building tutorial? Sure. At the start of every in-game day, you will be given the chance to assign some of your guests to a team and perform tasks to improve the hotel. The R&D team will research technological projects to expand the hotel's capabilities, or work out new contracts to modify the rules in the hotel. To assign a guest to a team in the guest management screen, tap on their icon and then select the appropriate option. Similarly, you can dismiss a guest already assigned to a team by tapping their icon of the team and selecting the dismiss option. Every guest has a set of stats, tech, and contracts. The higher the stat is, the more the guest can contribute towards completing a project of each type. Every session, your team's stat total will be spent working towards a reward, such as completing a tech project or crafting a contract. Every reward is a stat requirement that must be met for you to obtain it. If your team can't reach that total, don't worry. Your progress towards obtaining a reward will carry on to future sessions. Watch the team building tutorial? Okay. Oh, okay, yes. Alright, we already did that. Alright, so... You can see this tutorial anytime from the help menu. Click on the guest to see his stats and reassign him. You can also drag and drop the guests, hover over a stat to see what it does. Okay. Contract 2... Let's see. Coda. Coda's unavailable. Good stats. Luke. Alright, Luke. Send to R&D. Okay. I guess I'll be sending him there. Let's... Yeah, just in case I make a stupid decision. Alright, let's see. Send to R&D. Okay. Finish, maybe? Master, it would be a waste of resources to not get both Luke and me on this task. Oh. Okay. Nice. Confirm, yes. Very well, my lord. I shall realize your will post-haste. I shall summon Luke for his help. Your guest stats can be seen in the guest screen in the menu. You can inspect your current team members in the team screen as well. You can also inspect these in the ledger on the top right corner of the screen. With that, you head out. Just as you were leaving, you hear it again. The sound of rock groaning against itself right behind you, beyond your grasp. Alright, there you go. Water time. Alright. It's just about time for new guests to arrive. Back at the reception, you put on your best smile and wait. Things are slower today. During the morning, only 3 new guests arrive, all singles. As the day progresses, however, you do notice some commotion as people move about. At lunchtime, you find only a few sandwiches sitting on the lounge's counter. A number of guests are missing. Greta, her boyfriend, and the South American men. As you are having your lunch, you see what can soon become a usual sight at the hotel. Coda coming into the bar with a displeased expression, looking around for a moment, and if Luke is nowhere in sight, taking some food from the counter. Coda has a very uneasy attitude about the whole ordeal. He tries to maintain composure, bowing to a few guests if they are in the way, but his disdainful glare shows he does not want to be there. He takes a few sandwiches and walks back towards the reception. You can see this becoming a somewhat sad routine. You prepare yourself for an uneventful afternoon, but when you return to the reception, something feels off. You hear a subtle noise from behind the counter. You walk towards it and peek behind, only to find... Excuse me, but who are you and what do you think you're doing? Oh, sorry. I was just looking for a quiet place. My name is Ismail. And you chose to sit behind the reception counter. Yes? It doesn't make sense, huh? It's more that I wanted to be by myself for a while. And again, you chose to be by yourself behind the reception counter. Of all the places in this hotel, this is the location you chose? Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pause it right there. Thank you all so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and check out our Patreon if you can. It always helps. Before I go, I'm going to give a quick shout out to our lovely bronze tier patrons. Thank you all for all you do for the channel. We greatly appreciate your support. Thank you to our silver tier patron, Cade Silvermoon. Thank you for going a bit above and beyond. It's greatly appreciated. And thank you to our gold tier patron, Amr. You're awesome. We love you. Thank you for subbing to our ultimate tier. Anyway, if y'all want to get your names in the credits, get access to our not safe for work content as little as $5. Alrighty, I love you all, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye-bye!